Well, as a follow-up to my last video, I often get asked, so why don't you adhere to things like the doctrines of infallibility or inerrancy? And I'll give you three reasons why. The first reason is this. It's as you look at the scriptures, the infallibility and inerrancy does not describe what we see when we look at the scriptures. If you were to give somebody a copy of the scriptures, tell them to read it, and then you were to come back later, and they had no idea what it was, and you were to come back later and say, hey, did you realize as you're reading this is infallible or this is inerrant? That is not what they would come up with. They would be like, what? What are you talking about? Because it just does not describe what we see the text doing. Number two, the second reason is because these terms, infallibility and inerrancy, are not helpful in understanding what the text actually is and what it wants to be what it wants to accomplish. In fact, what these words actually do is make it more difficult to explain to what the text is and what we see in the text. So they're not helpful. They're actually more detrimental if you hold on to them, because once you start seeing things that go against that, everything starts unraveling like really quickly. And then the third reason, number three, is because these dogmas, I'm gonna call them dogmas, are, and I use that in a loose sense, not in a Catholic sense, they are late and they are reactionary, best I can tell. They are reactionary to something that was going on. For example, the doctrine of infallibility seems to be a reaction, a Protestant reaction, to the Roman Catholics saying that and declaring that the Pope was infallible. And so you can see kind of the writing on the wall when all of a sudden Protestants are like, no. It's the Bible, sola scriptura, infallible, not the Pope. And so that's the argument, goes back and forth. No, it's the scriptures. And then inerrancy comes right on its heels in the 19th century when empiricism starts happening and we start questioning things, and people start digging up stuff like, whoa, no, inerrancy, the Bible's inerrant. And then it's like, no, it's only inerrant in its originals that we conveniently don't have. But it becomes a reaction to modernity and postmodernity and all this kind of stuff. And so the third reason is because these are just man-made reactions to things that are going on that are challenging to the scriptures. And so these are why I don't hold to it.